Welcome back, you filthy exiles, and it's been a pretty good league start. Now, obviously, like, I haven't had the dropout issues being in the OCE servers that many others have experienced, which is unfortunate, but nonetheless, currently we're sitting pretty sweet overall. So if we have a look quickly at the Atlas map, more or less I'm at 43 maps completed. We've started moving up into red tier maps to the point where we're clearing T14s and whatnot now pretty easily, in fact. But yeah, basically overall the build's feeling pretty good. A few things like getting the health pool up, for example, is a bit of a mission because yeah, I've not had much RNG at all. Big thing here is making sure that you're consistently upgrading your axe, and like by all measures, my axe is pretty scuffed, but you know, we got pretty good DPS right now. But basically, yeah, you're really just gonna war cry around. We got Infernal Cry for clear, and then you're just gonna do an almighty big hit on the ground like this. This is basically just how the Sunder Slam build sort of works. Now, defensive layers, our armor is pretty low, but we are benching up when we have our bro nearby, which is our striker nearby. We are getting to about 1100 life regeneration per second. We hit our Enduring Krog at 2000 per second. We're overcapped on all our resistances, so we're sitting at 82, 82, 83. And we're now just building up our Chaos Res at the end of the day. And then basically we just need to get our armor up a bit more because our fizz damage is currently the biggest issue with this build, which we're going to do by getting bigger chest plate, bigger boots, bigger gloves, and then basically like maybe retooling the tree a bit and getting clusters and stuff into the build. That's how we'll overcome that. But for the time being, we are using a Petrified Blood setup. Now, delve depth-wise, I think I'm on about 128 depth. Yep, we're at 133. So we're punching down in delve. By day 2, that's pretty good. Like, you know, I think characters like in the top 5 Sunder delvers at the moment, which is pretty cool. But yeah, basically this build is just really good. It's comfortable. You do run into a few issues. Like at the moment, I don't have a 6-link setup, so we're just rolling out a 5-link setup at the moment. I've had to put Impale in the setup just to do a lot more damage, and that seems to be doing the trick. We aren't using Overexert yet. We're missing our gem setups are scuffed. We're basically just at the very baby steps of the build, right? But overall, like, you know, we're in red tier maps. We've smashed both the lesser pinnacles, and now we're moving on to the 2 stone pinnacles. And yeah, I didn't get a lot of time to play last night. We did like 13 hours. We've put about 19 hours into this build. Like, is it as strong as like other, like, you know, really, really super potent league starters? Nah. But by day 2, we're doing T14 maps and 133 depth delve, so it's pretty good. Anyway, let's get into the configs and all the rest of it. Talk about the build. Now, as far as its ability to fight the Trathians, however you want to, Tarathians, Trathus Setup. Anyway, besides that, some are really, really like some are really hard to kill. Like they are sufficiently challenging. I'm going to do a separate video about that. I'm just doing a compilation of it at the moment. I will say this. This is maybe the best and most fun league I've played in Path of Exile in a very long time. Fighting those guys and the rewards, as well as the difficulty and everything else that comes with it, is maybe one of the best things about this league. So if you were looking at the league, this league is worth playing. And also, I've got this kick-ass striker that follows me around. We've got, you know, Percival's Toe. We'll talk about the gearing for this guy shortly as well. But yeah, it's just a lot of fun. Anyway, let's get into the video and start talking about the build. Okay, so this is the POB. So we can see currently I'm at a DPS of about 594,000, which isn't too bad. It's not like, it's not super high octane, but it's good DPS for day 2. Like, you know, can't complain with that. Basically, yeah, we're overcapped on our reses. We actually, with Flask up, we get 87, 87, 88, so we're pretty good on that front, and we have a lot of life regeneration. This is the native regeneration, so 1,119 life regeneration before we account for our Enduring Cry or anything like that. Physical damage taken is problematic, but we're basically immune to elemental. You could chuck like a lightning coil or something like this on the build at this stage, and it would be okay. But basically, this is doing okay for what I need it for right now. Now, configurations page, just talking through this. We're on low life because we run Petrified Blood and we run Blood Magic as well. So we're reserving life and whatnot. We have, you know, petrified blood puts us down at half of our life pool, and then we reserve our auras on top of that essentially. So yeah, that's basically where we're at with that. So we have Lunaris, we have Grathcool, then we have Frenzy Charges because we have Blood Rage in the setup. We are on an automation configuration. Then we've got endurance charges. This is actually coming from two things. So this is coming from our enduring cry, but it's actually also coming from our ambush charge. So basically, my striker, which is my bro, also has enduring cry, and he has increased greater area of effect. And we're also using the ambush charge, which gives us your nearby party members' maximum endurance charges is equal to yours. This dude is really tanky, absolutely perfect for ambush charge in this scenario. So that's basically where that's coming from. So we always have it up. Now, Onslaught, we've got Flask. We've got an Onslaught Flask or a Silver Flask. So that's where that's coming from. We have Fortified because we run the Fortified Support Gem. Rage, we have 36 because the base number is 30 and then +3/+3 max Rage on this Veteran's Wrath wheel. So we have 36 Rage. Flask Active, yes. And the reason why this is important because we have gloves that have a Flask modifier on them. So as long as Flasks are active, we do an extra amount of damage. Nearby enemies, yes. Have we been hit recently? More than yes. Warcry recently, yes. We have 4 Warcries in the setup, so basically when we're fighting, we do that. Maximum Pride effect. Some people get a bee in their bonnet about this. Sure, drop it. It's 492. Do whatever you want. Yeah, you can call it bait. I don't give a crap. Anyway, so basically, we also use Blood Stance when we're in Delve, natively to farm, and Blood Stance is what you'll switch to when you're fighting bosses. So yeah, basically this is active pretty much all the time when we're delving because you do the most potent damage and you don't need that huge AoE when you're in delve, even though the AoE is still big. Enemy is full life, yes, but it doesn't do anything to the build, it's just ticked. Debilitated actually comes from our Warcry. Yep, so we have Warcry Mastery here, so we have one Debilitate for 1 second. Now this doesn't really do anything but increase our survivability by a little bit. Intimidate, I do have this ticked because we do intimidate when we pop war cries as well. Herald of Ash comes from our Infernal Cry, which we have on an auto exert setup, and this is Guardian and Pinnacle boss. So basically, this is like pretty moderate level stats, right? This isn't insane, but yeah, basically, this is how the build works. Okay, so for gear currently where we're at, we have General's Helm, which has like a ton of life regeneration, which is how we push our regen up. I actually got this from killing a Trathian, or a Trathus dude, or whatever you want to call him. Anyway, we don't have the best roll for life, but we need to put a little bit of investment into this. But for right now, this is doing it. Also, a lot of Chaos Res, so our Chaos Res is currently positive 4%, which is good. Our axe we just self-crafted, so I just had like a level 80 base drop. I just alteration spammed until I got a fizz damage roll. I lucked out with a secondary craft on there for 17% attack speed, and we just smacked on some fizz damage on there too. 93% a pretty okay roll. It's like 4 chaos or something like that, so it's not too bad. Chest piece, again, 15C chest piece on the market. If you want to know how to get chaos, I'm going to put out a delve guide and that will explain how I'm doing it. Basically just flat generation, life, some fire res, and then obviously just did some implicit crafts over it. It's not a very good chest piece, but it does get me to a 5 link. And there is a big power shift up between a 4 and a 5 link on this build. Rings, same deal. My rings are garbage, absolute trash. Except this one came from a Trathian. And basically 10% damage taken is recouped as life, chaos, and cold res. This is not a good ring, nor is this ring, but yeah, basically they're pretty good, okay for now. Amulet, same deal. This is actually holding me back. This is really not good on my end. Like, this amulet just gives me resistances that I realistically don't really need. I can balance that off if I just had fire res, for example. I get 50% of that, and that'll push me back over the overcap. So yeah, this is a stupid thing that I'm doing right now that is hindering my build from progressing just because it has a lot of life on it and dex and intelligence, which is painful to try and balance in this right now. Then basically gloves, just life regeneration rate, max life. These gloves are not good. Belt, resistances, regeneration, and life. Again, you can get way better belts. And boots, I do just have, again, life regeneration, not even a good life roll, very bad life roll, and movement speed and fire. Again, these boots are horrifically bad. They're just crap. Flasks, I really lucked out. I got like charges full rolls, but yeah, I've just got Ruby Flask, which if we pop that, that'll get us capped out to 87, 87, 88. And then basically, yeah, just Granite, Diamond for crit, Quicksilver, and Silver Flask. Like, there's nothing optimized about this. This is like the most scuffed this build will be at this stage, and it's only going to get more powerful now. And we're doing like T13, 14 content with pretty relative ease. Okay, gem setup. So in the helm, we're running Leap Slam, Enduring Cry, Seismic Cry, and faster attacks. In my axe is Intimidating Cry, Pride, and Eternal Blessing. So Eternal Blessing, for anyone who doesn't know, if you're running Blood Magic and you're reserving life, Eternal Blessing does not have a negative impact on your build. If you were to reserve life, then basically you can only run one major aura if you're just a life reservation, a mana reservation character, sorry. If you're running a life reservation blood magic character, you can have that pride aura and you can have as many other auras as you want, as long as you can do like All's Uprising, all sorts of weird and wacky stuff like that, because basically this is not impeded by the downside of the Eternal Blessing. It's quite good. And then basically we're running Precision as well. And the reason why we're running Precision is we don't need to put Vitality in the build because our Striker does Vitality. And one of the things about the Trathians is they are fantastic at supporting your build in the best possible ways. In our chess piece, we're running Sunder, we're running Pulverize, Impale, Fortify, Support, and Melee Fizz. What you'll notice in the POB is it'll say Fist of War, and the reason why it says Fist of War is because of this node, Tukahaman's War Herald. By the way, we've done Uberlab with this. We smashed Azaro. He was nothing. Then in our gloves, we're running Infernal Cry with Auto Exertion, and then Blood and Sand with Petrified Blood. In our boots, we're running Blood Rage, Automation, Molten Shell, and More Duration. I'm on the bench between whether Mortal Shell is better than Steel Skin, and it's just something I'm going to have to test a little bit. But that's it for the gem setups, nothing crazy. Okay, pathing tree. Not really any real divergent from where the POB was in the planning POB. So basically, we just start at the Marauder area. I'm just saying Warrior because of POE2 builds. And then we go to Warrior's Blood up to Heart of the Warrior. And then we grab Versatility. And then early on, you want to come down and you want to grab these Martial Experience nodes with a 40% increased damage against unique enemies. And then you also want Unwavering Stance, and then you can't be stunned, right? So it's pretty good. Then we come up, we grab the Deep Breaths node with Recover 15% life when you War Cry, which is pretty useful. And then basically we grab Prismatic Skin, we come down, we get the Master of the Arena, we get Destroyer, we get Art of the Gladiator, and I got one Dex node because my character is very cumbersome. And then basically, I've got a Strength node here. I have +2 Fire Res, which is a huge benefit to this build because at the end of the day, +2 Fire Res translates to +2 of all other reses thanks to the Chieftain Ascendancy. Then to cap out our accuracy, we take Eagle Eye and the Accuracy Master for 500 accuracy. And we come across, we get the Warcry Mastery for Debilitate for 1 second with Admonisher. Come down and get a Proficiency Dex node. Then we come down and grab Champion of the Cause. We also want to grab Fellas of Foes, and then enemies killed by your hits are destroyed, which is pretty damn useful. Though we could do something better with this. Right now, this is fine, and eventually we'll switch to staves. Then we grab Dismembering with crit multi against unique enemies. Then we'll come up, we'll grab Natural Authority, we'll grab Escalation, we'll grab Bloodless, and also the 30 life node in there. We obviously need Blood Magic. We then also want Veteran's Wrath. This is going to give us a lot of rage, plus the +6 rage we already discussed. And Warcries grant 1 rage per 5 enemy power, up to 5. This is really useful because basically, like, you just Warcry 4 times, you're at almost max rage. And then we come up, we grab Juggernaut. We grab Armor Mastery, 1% to all maximum elemental resistances. And then we want Slaughter up into Barbarism, up into Hearty, because I like the regeneration. I like to just like sit there and take damage. And then finally Disemboweling is basically, or Disemboweling is our final point that we put into. For Ascendancies, basically I went to Salo's Cleansing Waters, then I went the lower point, so Scion and Tukahaman's War's Herald, and then I finished Valako's Storm's Embrace was like the best choice. Then overcapping is then just like cheese, then it's really easy. But that's it for the pathing tree. Okay, so for the new inclusion with this, we have to account for our bro, right? As I'm going to call it. Now, I haven't really upgraded his gear, which is like bad on my part, but he's very tanky. And I found like running other different, like if you could get like a slam party member with like determination or vitality, that's basically the preference because of the AoE damage and just clear. But strikers are pretty easy to take down. They're just very tough and rough hitting enemies. But basically, because they have Fortify and this thing called Physical Aegis, they are really good in Delve. Like, I tried like a few different mercenaries, and the striker just doesn't die. It's pretty good. So basically, the gear is one thing, and we'll talk about that. Well, we'll talk about that now. I haven't really changed anything, but like you can see the highlight here where I've changed things. Ambu's charge is really useful because this guy has Enduring Cry, which is really useful. It means I've always got endurance charges. And then also Perkwill's Toe, which doesn't calculate in the POB. Big thing here, nearby allies damage with hits is lucky, which increases my overall damage for my build. Now, you've got to look at how you build your merc as you're the ally to the merc. So any gear that has ally stats will apply to your character, right? And not the merc. This guy, I don't need to worry about. So basically, the things that make him strong is he's got Vigilant Strike, he's got Enduring Cry, Physical Aegis, and Vitality. I don't really care about heavy strike or vulnerability. I couldn't care less. He does have a chance to heavy strike an enemy with vulnerability, which is good. It's cool. If he does it, he does it. He has Leap Slam, so he can keep up with me as well. The rest of his gear, though, I just have like armor regeneration, armor, stuff like that to keep him alive. And his stats are pretty much he's capped out except for chaos, so he'll die to chaos. He's got more armor than me, which is absolutely debilitating, and he also has more life regeneration than me, which is crazy. These mercenaries are the best thing that has ever been added to the game. I hope they don't take them out of the game. They make Path of Exile fun to a totally different level, and this was maybe the simplest league idea they could have come up with, but one of the best that they have ever come up with. I haven't spoken to anybody that doesn't think this is fun. And the best thing about the mercs is they are hard because they are useful, but I don't feel bad when I die to a merc because I'm like, I deserved it. I did not win the fight. The merc was a better player than me. And I think that's the best thing about the fact that the mercs exist now. Who knows what crazy stuff drops later on, whether they have 6 links and things like that. Those mercs, when we find them in the next month, it's just going to be insane. Whether or not they could like solo Ubers or something like that, like based on what I'm seeing so far, they probably could. But anyway, this one works really well for my character. I haven't fully fleshed this out. I think I want Windscream. I'll run for extra curses. Then I'll run 2 curse on hit rings eventually. And I can get those from Delve at the end of the day. So it'll be like, it might even be like Enfeeble and Vulnerability or something like that. And then basically, yeah, I'll just gear this guy up, or I'll trade this guy out for something bigger and better and different. I haven't sort of figured that out yet, but I definitely want to keep the vitality stat on there so I don't have to run it myself. Anyway, that's it for my my merc setup. So yeah. All right, all that being said, I hope you guys are enjoying League Start. I definitely am. I'm going to do a video covering off on the mercs so far. I have never played a mechanic I've had so much fun dying to. So yeah, if you're a hardcore player, tell me how you're going because yeah, some of these mercs are cracked. But especially like the minion ones, they are wild. There's some absolutely ridiculous guardians and puppeteers. I've been nuked that many times by them. It's like, these guys are ridiculous. Anyway, if you like this video and you're following this build, this is part 1. We're going to do part 2 probably by the end of the week, or during the week. And then, yeah, and then there'll be some other videos coming out in between then, going through different things. I still got to do a Path of Exile 2 video as well. So watch out for that. But anyway, until next time, I'll see you guys later on and have a good one.